because we're all exhausted, but you get two goons on the mic together. So now we got the next generation of Typo boys up here, and we're picking up an extra game. All right, but this is a rematch from earlier, right? Because did we see this today?
Yes, I believe we did, and I think ScAtt won.
Yes, ScAtt won it because ScAtt was in winners finals.
Yeah.
True. It was 3-2 earlier, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is what happens when I forget my equipment. Shout outs to the DragonCon people and making accommodations because I was missing an HDMI splitter. They brought me one. But we've been having a few technical difficulties with it.
Yeah, the commentator section has definitely had to be looking back and forth between the commentator monitor and the projector screen in reverse because we're behind it.
Yeah. All that being said, it's been 30 seconds and somebody's already missing a stock.
Yeah.
So
he sauced him up on the edge guard. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I looked up and ScAtt was already at like 80%. I was like, what is happening? It's only been 30 seconds. Now, I know we said we saw this match earlier, but this is a match that we grew very familiar with when we were still traveling for Smash Ultimate. There was a while where Georgia was considered a Sonic state.
Spin Dash Network.
Yeah, the Spin Dash Network. It's been a while since we've had a good Spin Dash Network day. But we have Wrath in Georgia. We, of course, have Sonido here. And then we also have people like Mr. Speedman and CC, who are retired for the most part because I haven't really seen them. But ScAtt has been holding down the Snake since Brawl. So, again, this is a matchup we've seen quite a bit.
It's the return back to form for him after all these years.
Yeah. I know ScAtt's also been semi-retired too, but he's been having a great showing here this weekend, being retired.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. Talking with him, ScAtt had some things he wanted to deal with, like in his life, get things more on track before he came back to commit to competing, and he said that this is kind of the beginning of him coming back to going to more tournaments.
Well, that's good to hear,
really?
and I'm glad this could be his return.
That's cool.
Because I know for, again, a while, he's been taking a seat back. I know last DragonCon he said he was basically retired too, but he still came up for the homies and the culture.
Yep.
Yeah. I've talked to quite a few people who said this was their first DragonCon and they only came because of Smash, and that they're going to be coming every year because they had so much fun at the convention and the tournament was run well enough.
Oh my goodness! Every single person throughout the waves that we were running this weekend was like, you guys have finished this tournament really fast.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it earlier. The 2-hour block for the pools we have is actually a bit egregious. Like, we had so much downtime.
I think in both of the first two waves when we were running them, we were holding like multiple losers matches just to fill time.
Yeah. I think we could definitely get away with like an hour and a half time slot for each pool.
I don't know, when a certain top player doesn't show up to his match on time.
It is entirely possible that one of the two people on stream currently would have been DQ'd if we had hour and a half time.
I was right there. I was on the edge. I was about to jump for real. Like I was ready.
Yeah, I heard Sonido, who was just a hair late to his pool.
Just a casual hour.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He was trying to speedrun his pool, and he wasn't completely respecting all of the players in his pool, and he almost dropped a game, if not the set, to the Ice Climbers player, Infinite.
Oh, yeah. That dude had some sauce, man. He knew some decent combos.
Yeah, I heard Ave and I think it was Omega discussing Infinite earlier. He's like, he's not quite the hidden boss level, but he's like the hidden mini boss.
Yeah. I think it's mainly matchup based, to be honest. Like, nobody plays Ice Climbers. You don't know what to do against Ice Climbers.
He knows the desyncs, but I don't think he knows how to combo once he gets desynced yet. Yeah. But like, he's hit some like desync spikes today.
Yeah, I mean, and that just all comes with practice. I personally never really heard the name Infinite, so for him to have a showing, he did. Yeah. Like, that was a phenomenal job. We're sitting here just talking about other stuff that's going on. ScAtt manages to clutch out that game despite being, down a stock so early on. And again, that just goes to show the mental fortitude that these players have. I don't know if you've ever played in best of fives back to back to back, but it is exhausting. I haven't done it a lot because I'm not a good player. But one of my favorite things to do when I travel through a tournament, I was like, I'll find the best player in the room, be like, yo, you playing dubs? You want to carry me to the top? And I've won more than my fair share of events like that. But I do not have the longevity and the fortitude to play through like 3 best-of-5s back-to-back.
Yeah, something I've learned from spectating shooting games as well as Smash is if you're that player or team coming from the losers bracket where you've got to run the best of 5s back to back to back, you want as many 3-0s as possible so that you could just keep going, because once sets start dragging out to game 4 and game 5 over and over again, you're gonna run out of stamina before you get to the end.
Yeah, you really gotta reserve that energy and just steam through everyone really fast. Now, Sonido is the one who's coming off of loser semis, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and he did have a very strong start, but he did kind of peter out towards the end there and did let ScAtt manage to sneak off with the win. I said it earlier, the little bit I was commentating, that I know Sonido in the past wasn't a huge fan of this matchup because of all the grenades and all the explosions. It makes it very difficult for Sonic to get in and do what he wants to do. That being said, if he does manage to get his hands on you, Snake is combo food.
Yes. I feel like if you can like prep a grenade preemptively where it's like, oh, I'm getting hit by spin dash here, you hold the grenade immediately and then it just blows up as he spin dashes you. He can't combo off of it, you know?
Yeah.
It's a little awkward for Sonic, even when he does get in.
Now,
really good
edge guarding, however, Sonic definitely has the upper hand there.
That's it's definitely one of Snake's major weaknesses. Getting back to the stage has always been a little bit more difficult. ScAtt is one of the players. Oh, I don't know if that was good DI or just unfortunate placement for ScAtt, but that was almost a quick stock. I love watching people get that Barbarian slice off. Just all of Snake's moves are just so meaty and they're so satisfying to watch, like just connect.
Yeah, for sure. One thing about this weekend, usually the thing that I remember the most about Sonido playing whenever I get to watch is the 2-frame F smash. Yeah. But this weekend has been a lot more edge guards with forward air, just following up and just running people off the stage and then keeping them there.
Yeah. It's definitely, I think, the better approach, because 2 frames can be a little finicky sometimes.
That and like Sonic isn't even truly 2-framing people because of the way his F smash can go through the ledge,
stage.
You know?
Yeah, we saw that earlier. I know all of us were a little concerned with what happened. Good tech. Yep. The run off the stage back air, we occasionally call that the T-Rex special.
I learned. I spent about a year getting stage spiked by T-Rex before I finally learned the tech.
Man, ScAtt is...
I'm not going to lie, that was pretty convincing.
Yeah, ScAtt is making these real convincing up 2-0, and, you know, Sonic just struggling to deal with those up tilts. Now, we bring up the T-Rex special, the run off the stage back air. We saw ScAtt get the tech.
Yes.
You most of the time will not get good players with the run off stage back air into the miss the tech. But run off stage back air is still a solid like 15 to 20 damage, and sometimes it puts you in a bad position, but when you're Sonic off stage, nothing's really a bad position for you.
Yeah, it really helps if you're a character who is either fast or has more options to get back to the stage quickly.
Snake is not one of them.
Snake is not one of them, but you do it anyways.
I do.
At least Snake has the ability of, if it's not a great recovery, you can at least recover for a long time.
Yeah.
So you're given multiple chances to try and get back once you do it.
Yeah, you may take a lot more percent than you probably should, but you're Snake. You can live to like 200, right? Now, talking about like Snake dealing damage to himself too, I believe it was his match with Omega. Like, ScAtt had a pretty solid lead, and then he kind of fell into the Snake trap of, I'm just going to keep doing fancy things with these grenades, and I'm going to keep blowing myself up.
Yeah. Watching that set, it definitely looked like ScAtt took command of all 3 games, and then all 3 of them just slipped away in the last stock.
Yeah. And it's hard when you have a character who's constantly in your face. Like, I know, again, Sonido's not a huge fan of this matchup, but, you know, if he can get past those grenades, it's very clear that Snake doesn't have a lot of tools to just stop dying.
Yeah. On to those grenades, you did mention that it's hard for Sonic to get in. Not only is it hard for Sonic to get in against it, it's hard for him to move. Sonic likes to have a lot of free range of the stage to just be able to, like, fake burst in your face and then jump over you and kind of do resets. but with C4 laying around and grenades just constantly being dropped, Sonic doesn't have the freedom to just land and go wherever he wants, like punish free.
Yeah, the stage presence from ScAtt is just so daunting. There was like, it's all like 15, 20 seconds where he just had Sonido in the corner, and Sonido had to hold shield because it was grenade, C4, up smash, grenade. The fact that his shield didn't break was honestly surprising to me.
Yep. And every Snake player is waiting for you to roll out of it.
Oh yeah.
Like they're throwing
100%.
all of those explosives at you because they know it's a ton of shield pressure, and they're just waiting for the roll to either dash attack you if you're at lower percentage, or at this point it would be a turnaround up tilt, and it's just an easy stop.
How did he not die to that?
I don't know.
That was insane.
Yeah. Sonido's got that longevity. You know, you don't make it as... You know who doesn't have that longevity is that stock.
We were actually joking about it earlier. Sonic's punch, it's Gum Gum Pistol from One Piece. Speaking of Rex.
A lot of times before the One Piece live action?
Live action.
There we go. I was going to say live stream.
Yeah.
Anyway, we called it the Mr. Fantastic a lot. But yeah, the Gum Pistol, very appropriate name.
Yeah, bro's hitting him with the Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Nikita is just like, I'm edgeguarding for free.
Yeah, it's Snake's #1 doubles partner, man. Like, you put Nikita out there, he's like, hey, man, he does the dishes, he cooks, he cleans, everything you could ever want him to.
Pays the bills, files the taxes. Honestly, Snake's playing doubles the entire time.
Yeah.
Especially in ScAtt Snake, man. There's like no less than 2 grenades plus a C4 on the stage at any time.
Yeah, Sonido finally picking up a game.
It won't be a 3-0.
Yeah, well, fortunate for Sonido, unfortunate for the clock. But, you know, Sonido, again, another veteran player. He's going to make the adaptations he needs to, especially when you have the time in a best-of-5 format. That's why, you know, these top players definitely prefer best-of-5. I was joking with him early on. They're like, hey, once best-of-5 starts, like, dude, top 3, that's it, top 3. Yeah. We're not staying here all night. And then we got to top 24. I was like, all right, you guys, I guess we'll have it your way.
Yeah. I do believe just in the past when we've done Dragon Con, their sets, especially the last set they play against each other, almost always goes to 5.
Yeah. And again, these they're not static training partners or anything, but again, they've been playing together since Brawl.
Yeah, I know Sonido was saying earlier that he and ScAtt rarely go to Game 5.
Yeah.
Like he mentioned that earlier when he was grabbing his bag from backstage. Like he never goes to Game 5 with ScAtt, and was shocked that he did in their first set today.
All right, just sitting here debating stages right now. I don't know what Sonido banned.
I'm going to assume we're going to play an actual stage this time.
Yeah, Hunter's not here.
Had some shenanigans in the last match.
You know what? I don't think I did my social media post for this one because I was having some tummy troubles.
You're around this chair. You're around this chair. Be careful.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. The picture might be a little late, but you know what? We're going to do it anyway, just so we can get in the habit, right?
Right. We are a little out of practice after all.
Yeah, I think the last time we did any sort of major event was this time last year with DragonCon.
That's the last one I did, for sure.
Yeah.
So, ScAtt has actually switched to Mega Man for Game 4.
Did we do MomoCon Winterfest last year?
I think that was the year before.
It was the year before. Okay.
And I did not do that event.
Yeah.
This is what, losers finals?
I don't know. I highly doubt the person that runs MomoCon is watching. I don't know what just happened to Leon, but listen, if you run MomoCon, please invite us back to MomoCon. Okay, I love that. Winterfest was so like small and intimate. It was so fun. I enjoyed that event a lot, actually.
Yeah, the thing is, though, they're not going to do another Winterfest anytime soon because that was more of a fulfilling contractual obligations and not really a thing they wanted to do. Because, you know, MomoCon proper is just a much better time frame for all of that. Oh, dear.
How do I sound right now? Is this okay?
No, not at all. Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, oh, maybe if I just like droop it in here.
No, like it has to be facing your mouth. These mics are very directional.
It just like this one doesn't have the pop filter, so my mustache hairs are getting caught in the microphone, and it's pulling them out.
I think it's the one I'm working with, the pop filter. It looks like somebody ate it.
Oh yeah, it's got a ring.
I was on my lips the other day, and I literally got like black fuzz like all over my lip.
Well, like I was putting it on and I adjusted it, and then the cold metal touched my face. I was like, what is going on? It was someone licking the pop filter.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that one, but yeah, like I got like shreds of black stuff all over my lips.
Yeah, I need to buy new pop filters. Anyway,
giving an update, we had a very early SD by Sonido when trying to recover. Maybe a weird interaction with Mega Man pellets or forward air. Sonido has been slowly bringing it back though, and we're to about a 30% deficit.
Yeah. Now, we did see ScAtt bring out the Mega Man. After the adjustments that Sonido made in Game 3, I definitely don't blame him. And again, this is another matchup that I know Sonido does not like.
Yeah, I can't imagine wanting to play against Mega Man.
Yeah. And then...
that was crazy.
Was that
actually.
2 techs?
I don't know what just happened, but...
it looked
the
cool,
fact
though.
that he converted anyway was wild.
Again, these players are phenomenal. I love when our guys come out and just show up.
I mean, both of these players have been top 55 in the world during Ultimate at some point through the game's lifetime. So,
and I feel like one of the big reasons that we haven't seen more from them is just kind of a lack of travel. I know I was talking with Sonido earlier. He was formerly sponsored. I can't remember who the sponsor was, but I know he had some trouble, getting them to have him come out to events just because Georgia's a slightly more awkward place to be traveling from.
Yeah, really, we just have MomoCon every year, and that's one that everybody gets to go to.
So we have MomoCon, we have DreamHack, and those are like the major Georgia tournaments. I actually don't remember too much happening out of DreamHack last year, though. Like, I remember it happening and be like, oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, I feel like I've never been to a DreamHack. I've never even watched a DreamHack, in all honesty. That was nasty.
It's a nice conversion.
That is just like not a tournament that I get excited for, or I don't really know anyone that gets excited for a DreamHack.
Now, I will say DreamHack was a phenomenal event the one year I went. There are some... Oh boy, there are some sets from that DreamHack that made my channel. Like, I would not be sitting here right now if it wasn't for DreamHack, like, legitimately. So I would love to make it back, and I would like to be there in a more official capacity, because the one time I went, it was more of a just, hey, I'm the local Smash streamer at this point, because there wasn't a lot of other people doing it at that point. And I was like, I know I can't officially be there, but can I set up a side stream? And they're like, yeah, man, we got you. And it was so much fun. And just the fact that it's a 24-hour venue, like, it never stops. Like, you could be up at 4 a.m. and be like, all right, where are the games at? And you will find at least 2 or 3 rotations.
Yeah. Talking about that DreamHack, what was, like, the highlight set? Like, you said that helped make you. Was there, like, one certain set that helped?
Fatality is somewhere in there.
So, there is a set, but one of the players is currently redacted, so I'm not going to say his name. But I remember, like, walking, so for those of you who don't know me and what I do, I own the stream, I run the stream, but my main job is more of a TO and tournament organizer, and that's where I actually prefer to be. So I was running a pool, and I had one of my guys running the stream, and I see this massive crowd of people just like hunched over this one setup, and I was like, what is going on here? You guys are in my aisles, I can't do my job. And I walk over, and it's a redacted player versus another like top name player, and there's on my setup, and I was like, oh, and I immediately look at my guy, and I was like, are you recording this? And he's just nodding his head. I was like, oh, thank God.
I remember we went to CEO 2019, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
And it was like Nairo and someone else sat down at our stream setup and just started playing friendlies.
Yeah.
And I recorded every single one of the games. It was so funny, actually.
Yeah. I miss a lot of our old school people. I know Fatality is saying that he's really not interested in competition for Smash Ultimate anymore.
Yeah, Falcon sucks.
Yeah. But he's still like a phenomenal character to watch, and he's always entertaining. Just the energy that Griffin brings. Yeah. And I definitely would not be where I am without Griffin either.
Yes. The the famous Falcon Punch off the stage.
That's just one instance, but you know, it was a few months back. I know one of not just one of the Georgia people, but the Georgia community in a whole was actually a little upset that matches weren't being uploaded to YouTube from one of our locals. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, but you know, the guy who was in charge of all the uploads, he was like, man, it really sucks that if you're not a top player, if you're not, you know, Fatality, you know, you don't get put on stream and your videos don't get put up on YouTube because it's bad for the algorithm.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, man, I understand where you're coming from. As a player, it's frustrating to be in that position, but you also have to understand that, you know, for some people, a stream is a business, and they have to do what's best for their business. Me, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll put anything up as long as it's, you know, as long as it's esports, because I'm here for the community.
Yeah,
like,
I think for the most part, like, if you just ask, right, it's like, hey, can I be on stream? Like, yeah.
Yeah, we'll generally try to accommodate.
Like, we will collude for sure.
I don't know about collude.
We collude to get people on stream, okay? I'm not saying we're like match fixing out here. Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, like, if you want to be on stream, we can make it happen.
Honestly, I don't think anyone has ever walked up to me and said, hey man, can I play on stream, and me just outright refuse them. Now, if they're in losers, I'd be like, hey man, you have to understand that, you know, winners does take priority. But if you come up to me round one and feel like, hey man, I'd really like to play on stream, I'm like, well, who are you playing? He's like, well, this guy is like, okay.
Yeah. Usually my response whenever somebody is in losers and they're like, hey, can I play on stream? I'll look at them and go, win more, and we'll get you there.
Yeah. It was during doubles on Friday. Lyther was getting a little upset with me. He's like, why are we playing off stream, dude? I was like, because I'm not trying to stay here all night. And he's like, well, talk to the people.
I felt bad, too, because he had a doubles match, and then it was reshuffled, and then we called those opponents, it was reshuffled again, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but now your doubles opponent isn't here, like, they're getting DQ'd, you're going to have to wait, and we're going to play something else.
Yeah. And then, like, I sat down, and he's like, we should really be on stream. I was like, you're right, we should. I should walk over there and tell them that. He's like, can you do that? I was like, dude, I'm running the tournament. He's like, well, why don't you? I was like,
God, this is
we also playing in the tournament.
This is really close. And Sonido with the reverse 3-0.
Shoutouts to Sonido. I know earlier we were saying that he almost never makes it to Game 5, and ScAtt did end up taking it. That's